Mm. Okay, so hello everyone, my name is Rion Suryavanshi, and in the series of advanced topics of Python, today we are going to discuss all about decorators in Python. We are going to look into it, practice it, and I will explain every single thing, every single line of decorators in Python and why decorators is important concept as a Python developer. And most of the time, you are going to work with the decorators when you are working with the development sites. Okay, so we are going to understand why it is this much important and why we use decorators. Okay, so let me share the screen. So let's move ahead. Okay, so now it is visible, I hope. Let me do it on the full screen. Okay, so now it is perfectly fine. Just let me do it here. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, so first of all, understand with definition what is a decorator over here. Okay, so we will understand decorators in Python. So first of all, we will look what is decorator in Python. Okay. So decorator is a function that creates a wrapper around another function. This wrapper adds some additional functionality to existing code. In this tutorial, the various types of decorators we are going to discuss. Okay. So understand this simple line. This wrapper adds some additional functionality to existing code. It means that this is the function. Okay. This is the function with the help of example. Let me explain. This is the function, this is the subtree. Okay, here we are just subtracting any argument with the 3, right? But before this functionality will call, I just want to perform some another actions to be performed. I just want to perform some another actions before calling this function or before the action of this function. So we use some decorators for this functionality. Okay, let's see. One approach you can follow, you can, let's say this is the function. Let me write this function here, def and sub. Okay, and this is the function, and this is taking one argument x as a parameter, and it is return x minus 3, right? Okay, but you want to add some functionality here. Okay, so what you need to do, if you want to add some functionality without decorators, you need to improve this code. Okay, you need to make changes in this code, but there are some conditions that you can't make changes in this code. So what you can do at that time? Okay, so if you don't have access to improve or modify this code, then you just add decorator, and this decorator function will perform that certain action that you want to perform before this function will call. Okay, so that's why we use decorators over here. Okay, and we will discuss every single thing, every single line of this code. Okay, so let's see, let me clean this first. Okay, okay, let me clean this one. Okay, so let's see, this is the function. Let me just take this function. Okay, this is the function, and this is also the function, and here we are calling function. Okay, so let's see, this add-on function we are calling from here. This add-on function we are calling from here, and inside that we are passing another function as an argument, and this function is this one. Okay, this function is this. Okay, you can see this subtree is this function, and add-on this function we are calling, right? Okay, so add-on will call and take argument this function, this sub3 function as an argument. Okay, and let's see how this function is going to work. First of all, we will call this add-on function, so we will move here. Okay, in this function, and inside in the parameter you can see there is one parameter we are taking as an argument inside this function. Okay, and inside that there is one inner function we are writing, because this is the decorator function we are writing. So inside this add-on function you need to write another inner function. Okay, like we can say function inside function. Okay, this is the approach you need to follow, function inside function. Okay, so we are writing this add one inside. Okay, this is the another function that is written in this. So we can say this add one function. Okay, so inside this function what we are doing, printing adding one and returning in the return, we are calling this my function. And here what is my function? My function is this sub3 function. Okay, this sub3 function is this my func. Okay, and this will call with my func, and it will take one parameter x and plus one. Okay, first of all this will be give, this will give us at output, like it will be output like we can say my func and x. Okay, so my func will call with x parameter, this function will call and it will return x minus 3. So whatever we will 5 we will pass with this x. Here we are passing 5, so we will pass 5 and then 5 minus 3, 5 minus 3 it will be 2, right? And 2, this my func and x will give output as a 2, and then we will plus 2 plus 1. Okay, so we will get output as a 3, and we are returning this 3 from this add 1 inside function, and this return value 3, and in this line we are returning this whole function add 1 inside function. So add 1 inside function itself returning this 3 value. So overall we will return this 3 as an whole this code. Okay, so we will get output as a 3, output as a 3 for this result, this particular line, this particular line. Okay, this particular line will give us output as a 3, but this one will give us output as a 2 because we are directly calling sub3 function and passing this 5 as a parameter. So this sub3 will call and this will return x minus 3. So x minus 3, x is 5, so it will give x minus 3 is equal to 2 as an output we will get. Okay, and this result here, with the help of this result you can see this add-on function is adding some additional functionality in this sub3 function, and this additional functionality is of adding one in this coming output, or this output of this function. We are adding one in this output of this function. So we are improving, or we are adding this functionality using this decorator add-on function. Okay, let's move ahead with this, or it is not the only one code, we are going to explain it with another example. So just be in the video. Okay, if you are a little bit confused, I understand it can be a little bit confusing, or a little bit we can say advanced things. Okay, but let's move ahead. Another nice way to writing above code in shown below. Okay, let's see. Here we can pass arguments. Okay, it is not possible always we are passing one argument, sometimes we pass multiple arguments. So you can use this args and this we can say keywords arguments. Okay, so any number of arguments you can pass, so you can handle all these arguments with the help of this argument methods, we can say keywords and arguments. Okay, so let's see with the help of example this simple thing. Okay, so here we are discussing about this arguments and keywords arguments. Okay, so here you can see the same function, functionality is same, but just what we are doing, here we were passing x, but here we are passing this arguments, star args star keyword arguments. Okay, so arguments means what, it takes as a tuple. Okay, if you are passing single argument, so like 5 you are passing, so it will be 5 here. Okay, it will take into this arguments, but if you are passing arguments like x is equal to 5, so keywords argument will take it as a like this x key, and then it will be 5. Okay, so you can key value pair will be keywords arguments. Okay, and this arguments will be this arguments will be list, this will be tuple. Okay, this will be tuple. Okay, this will be tuple, and this keywords arguments will be in the form of dictionary. Okay, key value pairs. Okay, so this is the simple functionality, the whole code is same, just we are like in the above code. Let's move to the above code. Here you are just passing x as an argument. Here you can see you are passing x. Okay, you are passing x, and here also you are passing x, but in this code just simple we are changing this x to the arguments star args and comma double star and keywords arguments. Okay, and the purpose of this is to, it is not always possible, or it is not we are not sure how many arguments we are passing. Okay, sometimes it will be 2, sometimes it will be 3, sometimes it will be 1, and sometimes it will be 0. So we can handle this with the help of star arguments and star keywords arguments. Okay, and the same functionality it is happening adding 1, and this will return my function arguments keywords. So this function will come to this here, this function, and it will call this sub3, because my function is here. You can say here we have my function, and in this add-on my function we are calling this sub3. Okay, and this sub3 is my function. So this my, when this we will call this my function, so this sub3 is going to be called with the argument x, and here we are returning x minus 3. So x minus, when we are passing 5, so it will return 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Okay, so in this whole code we will get output as a 2, and then we are performing plus one arguments, plus one method, or plus one technology, we can say additional functionality we want to add, 2 plus 1, so it will return 3. Okay, this whole will return 3. Okay, this whole will return 3, and from this whole we are returning this one inside method. Okay, one, add one inside, so it will return output as a 3. Okay, so this is the same functionality we are the working of the code is same as above we saw. Okay, so let's see another example of let's see, this is the whole code is same, but just in above code you can see here we are using another variable. Okay, like result is another variable that we are we can say using here for this. When we are calling this function, we are storing this into result, and we are calling this result again with the parameter 5. Okay, but here what we are doing, just we can use this oh, see. Okay, so here we are just using this method name itself in the variable. Okay, here we are passing sub3, and here in the variable name we are using sub3, and then we are calling this sub3 with the argument 5, and the functionality is same. You understand this thing? Okay, but you can write this also. So this is the another way of writing the same code. Let's move ahead. Lastly, okay, this is lastly in Python, the line 12 is above code can be replaced by using decorators. Okay, let's see what is decorator here. Now the code is same, but just you need to think, like, let's see, take example. This is the code. I'm giving this as an example of as you are working in any project. Okay, and you are writing this function over here. Okay, you are writing this function. Okay, and but before writing this function, we can say you want to add another we can say technology, or another something. Uh, let's say you want to perform certain action before calling this sub3 function. Okay, but you don't have access to make changes in this function. You don't have access to make changes in this function. So what you will do, but you have this another but it is possibility that you can write another function that can perform that all these action. Okay, before calling this function, this sub3, before calling this sub3 function, you want to perform certain actions, but you don't have access to modify this function itself. So what you will do, just you will write another function, and that function will perform that action that you want to perform, and use this function as a decorator. This is at the rate is a decorator, at the rate add 1. Okay, this is the decorator you are using. This whole function is behaving as a decorator for this function sub3. Okay, so the above code is also working in the same way, but this is the another approach. Directly you can write this at the rate and add 1, and this will like this will when you add this decorator add 1, so before calling this function, this whole function will perform. Okay, and it will take this sub3 as a we can say my function as an argument. when you use this add one decorator over here. Okay, so this my function will be this sub 3. Okay, so let's move ahead. This is simple and method and technology of using decorator, or this is not only we can write this is our own decorator that we are using. But when you are working on these some projects with the Django, and in Django there are some built-in decorators like authentication decorators, authorization decorators. Okay, so you can simply write, you are writing this function. Let's see, def login. This is login function you are writing. Okay, and you are taking request here, and you just want to perform authorization before calling this function. So what you will write here, login, this is the function name you will just write. Let's see, let's move ahead, just write it in the good manner. Okay, so let's see, this is we can say um, def login. Okay, and this is the function. Mm, why it is looking in the extreme manner. Okay, let's see. Let's see. This is def. This is def login, and you want to like return user logged in. Okay, this is you want to return, but you want to perform some authentication of the username and ID password you want to authenticate. So you will just use this login, we can say login decorator. This is inbuilt, you don't need to write this decorator, this is inbuilt in Django, so you can use this decorator. These are the some inbuilt decorators that you can use. Okay, but here we are writing our own decorators because we want to add some more technology in this, or additional we can say features in this function. Okay, so that's why we are writing our own function, but there are multiple inbuilt decorators that you can use. Let's move ahead. Okay, so this is another example we are looking into it, and this you can understand with the help of this example very well. Okay, let's see. There is one function that is, let me explain here. There is one function. Oh, okay, let's see another example. Let's see here. This is do sub def do sub, right? And this is taking a and b as an two argument, and it is return a minus b. Okay, this is what we are performing. Let's see, and I'm passing here do sub and 4 comma 2, right? So what it will do, it will do 4 minus 2 and return 2 as an output. Perfect. Okay, but if I'm passing this do sub and 2 comma 4, so what it will return, 2 minus 4 is equal to minus 2. But what I want, when a is greater than b, then it will perform a minus b, then it will be answer will be 2 as a positive integer. But when this a is smaller than b, so what I want, I just want to swap this two number. Like I just want to a is equal to 4 and b is equal to 2. This I want to perform when a is smaller than b. But I don't have access to modify this function. I don't have access to modify this function. Let's see here. This is the function, and this is performing a minus b. But this is function. I don't have access to perform this action. This I can't modify this function. Okay. So what I will do, if I have access of this function, so what I will do, I will just check if a is smaller than b. What I will do, a comma b is equal to b comma a. This is the swap I will do. Okay, let's see. I will write here. Okay, let's see. If a is greater than a is smaller than b, so what I will do, just a comma b is equal to b comma a I will do. Okay, if I have access of this function, I will add some two line of code here below this column, and my work is done. But I don't have access of this function to make any changes. I don't make any changes, or I can't make any changes in this function. So what I will do, I will write just another function. This is a smart function I'm writing because this is working some smart functionality for us, or this is taking any function as an argument. Okay, and inside that we are writing this inner function. Okay, and this function inner function is taking same argument as a parameter, same number of argument as a parameter that we are passing in this do sum. Okay, like you can see, this is do sum. Okay, we are passing a comma b, and here also we are passing a comma b, and this inner function will mm, write and inside this inner function we will write this functionality. Okay, if a is smaller than b, then we just want to swap a comma b is equal to b comma a. Okay, this is just we want to perform with the help of this inner function, and then just after swapping these numbers we will return any function. This return any function is what here you can see. After calling this smart function, we are calling this function from here, and this is the do sub we are passing. This function we are passing as an argument. So this do sub is going to this any func. Okay, and this any func we are calling here. So any func and the bracket a comma b. So a comma b will be 2 comma 4, and 2 comma 4 it was before this functionality. But when we perform this action, if a is smaller than b, so it will swap. So now a comma b will be a is equal to 4 and b is equal to 2. So we are passing this 4 and 2, and then we are returning 4 minus 2. So we will get output as a 2, and this whole inner function is returning output as a 2. Okay, and this we are returning inner function. So inner function itself returning 2. So we will get output as a 2. Okay, and when we will call this call function here with this parameter 2 comma 4, we will get output as a 2 for this whole code. Okay, I hope you understood. Or if you have any doubt, you can put message in comment box so I can explain you again. Okay, let's move ahead. And now you will let me explain the same thing with the help of decorators. Okay. Oh, where is the decorator code? Yeah. Okay, let's see what will be the decorator here. Okay, if I will use decorator, the function will be same. Let me write decorator code here. Eraser, where will be the eraser? Okay, so let's see how decorators will work. Okay, def, this is smart func. Okay, and this is taking any func as an argument, right? Okay, let me explain here only. Just above code, like, or let me, where is that file? Yeah. Okay, in this example, you can see this is the add-on we are using as a decorator. Same way we can use decorator in this function above this. Okay, let me clear this thing also here from here. Let me clear everything from here. So it will be good. Okay. Okay. So what you can do, the code will be same. Just you need to use at the rate smart func as an decorator, and it will perform same. And here you don't need to write this smart func and inside that do sub, because when you write this like you will call this do sub, and let's see, do sub and parameter a comma b. So whatever the value you want to pass, you can pass. So what it will take, this whole thing is equal to this one when you are using this decorator. Okay, when you are using this at the rate smart func as a decorator in this above this function, so this code will be performed like same. This function will call and this do sub will pass as a parameter for this function. Okay, and perform whatever the functionality you are writing in this function, inner function here. Okay, so this is all about decorators. If you have any doubt, any single doubt, little bit, you can put message or you can ping me on the WhatsApp, and we can discuss about it. Okay, thanks so much.